with the understanding that you now have ownership of that geoclaim area, you have to understand the percentage of ownership that you have. Okay, if you're the only owner, then that means that you have 100% ownership, and every time somebody geomines in that area, you're going to receive 10%. Okay, that's not including what you geomine in the area, it's what everybody else geomines in the area. And so if you put in 100 coin into one area and you're the only one, you get 100% of all the geomines in the area. But if somebody comes along and decides, you know what, I'm gonna put 200 coin into the area, well, they now have 66% ownership of that area. And if you still have the 100, then you'll have 33%. And so now the person who put in 200 has a higher chance of receiving 10% of all geomines in the area. Keeping all of that in mind, what would be the best strategy when it comes to geoclaiming? Okay, first of all, if you're not a master user, that means that you cannot remote geoclaim, which is a big disadvantage when it comes to geoclaiming areas. You have to physically be in the area in order to geoclaim. So you can only do that. You can't be at multiple places at once. So hopefully you're in an area that doesn't have a lot of competition. If there is a lot of competition, then I would advise to only invest a very small amount as early into the week as possible. But other than that, I wouldn't try to invest a whole bunch of coin into an area with a whole bunch of owners, especially if there's not a whole bunch of geomines in the area either. Instead, if you end up going out of that location and into more rural areas, those are the areas that I see end up getting a whole bunch of more profit, and you don't really have to invest much. There's not many owners. So for me, I drive around almost half of all of North Carolina, and I can see which one the country highways are usually the areas that make me the most profit. But even in these areas in North Carolina, it's really not that much profit. But this week right now, I've probably put in about 300 to 400 coin spread across maybe 10 different areas, and I've gotten, it's at 1,500 coin now. So by the end of the campaign, I'll probably get to close to 1,700, maybe even 1,800. So that's not bad. Okay, so that's a good percentage profit. But I've seen people who have the master plan, they go and they drop a whole bunch of coin and they're making like a good 30,000 coin each week. So it's really profitable if you know what you're doing. So I think that the best strategy is to find areas that don't have a lot of owners, geoclaim that area. You can go and test it out, put in 5 to 15 coins just to see what kind of percentage you're gonna have in the beginning. If you put in 15 coin and you only have 1% of ownership, then I would just leave that block alone altogether. On the other hand, if you put in 15 coin and you end up having like 20% of ownership, then that's probably a pretty good area. I would go ahead and invest maybe 30 to 50 coins. You end up getting probably about 50% or more ownership. That's a pretty good ownership to have in an area that's even though it's not as competitive, you're probably still going to make some profit out of it. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is if you have a basic plan or a light plan, then you have to pay 10% of your geomines to the geoclaim owners. If you're plus, pro, or master, you have a shield up that prevents you from losing 10% to that geoclaim owner. Instead, the coin system is going to pay that 10% for you. So it's a win-win in that situation. The geoclaim owners are still going to get 10%. But if you have Plus, Pro, or Master, you don't have to pay that 10%. And this 10%, it's already factored in when you actually geomine in the area. Okay, and then also if you have a Pro plan, you're gonna get an extra 10% for any Geoclaim rewards that you get. And then the Master plan is gonna get an extra 20% for every Geoclaim reward that you get. If you are a Master user, you probably already know how to use Geoclaims. But if you're thinking about getting Masters and you want to know how to go about it, what I would suggest is to go to highly congested areas, big cities, and this is across the whole world. Usually the US and Europe have the highest usage of the coin app, and I think there's some other countries too, but I can't think of them. But I like a couple places in Europe, I can't think of them right now, that are very, very congested. And what you can do is just find areas that are close to that congested area, highways where people can go in and out of that congested area, and find those areas where there's not a lot of owners and put in a smaller amount to where you can gain a whole bunch of profit. Trust me, I've seen people put in like 30 coin and they end up getting thousands of coin out of it by the end of the week. So if you do it right, you can really make a really good profit. I'm talking like 20 to 30,000 coin profit every single week. So that's what I think is the best strategy for using Geoclaims. Hopefully that added some value to your coin app usage. If you want to know more tips about the coin app, I have my top 10 tip video right here. You can click on that. Make sure you like the video, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you. God bless.